So lately, I've been looking at quite a bit of safe lane replays, and there's something that I noticed. There's this large issue with safe lane players that they don't know what they're trying to do. They're just running around or taking the wrong objectives or taking the wrong farm, making a lot of mistakes, and that's why in today's video, I want to really make sure you guys understand the two types of carries that exist. Now, there is some overlap between the heroes, but you need to understand what your hero's goal is going into the game. And let's say you're a support player, this helps you as well because you need to know what your carry needs in order to win the game. So if you guys are excited to really learn the two different types of carries and what you should be focusing on when you are picking these heroes, like the video to obviously let me know that you're excited for this video, and obviously comment down below anything you want to know about the carry role. I'll be happy to answer as long as I see your comment. Now quickly, if you are interested in learning more from pros, just watching pro matches, I'm doing that over on the gameleap website. I just did a game where Gork played Snapfire, and I'm going to be doing more carry ones in the future. I've done a Winter Wyvern and a Snapfire at this point. I'm planning on doing one probably for AM, maybe one for Weaver. I just think these heroes are a little bit underutilized right now, and therefore if you're interested in that, go check out the website, sign up, and hopefully I'll see you there. Also, if you do, let me know in the Discord, and I'll be happy to chat to you about it. Now, the first thing I want to say is that, in my opinion, there's two styles of carry. There are the fighting carries, and then there are the farming carries. And now this might seem really straightforward, but I think the thing that people don't remember is that the reason that there are two different types of carries is because you can draft them in different scenarios. So the first thing I want to mention is that when should you draft these carries? Well, the first thing I want to say is typically when you are picking a farming carry, I recommend you communicate to your mid laner and your off laner that you want one of them, at least one of them, to be some sort of space creator. Now, of course, in pubs you can win with 5 carries, but for the most part, if you want the optimal sort of draft, you shouldn't have a Medusa and an Alchemist on the same team, as you will most likely get run over. So if you're looking to pick a hero like PL, I recommend that you have your mid laner play someone like Puck. But if you're looking to pick someone like Bloodseeker or Weaver, maybe then you can have your mid laner pick Medusa. Obviously, Medusa's at a meta, guys. I'm using it as an example, but hopefully that kind of makes sense. I think it's a really basic way to understand drafting as a carry. And now let's get into the differences and my ideas on what you should be doing on these two different types of carries to actually snowball your games. So the first one I want to go over is the group of fighting carries. And let's start with a hero like Riki, who is becoming an absolute menace in pubs right now. If you're not playing Riki and you are, frankly, any rank, in my opinion, this hero is ridiculous, I recommend you try him out. But when I watch a lot of Riki players or people that have been playing Riki as a result of watching my videos, I see they get one main mistake wrong. They see Riki carry as this fighting only hero, right? And that's why I really want to make this video. I'm afraid that when I tell people that Riki is a hero that can fight early, or Bloodseeker or Weaver are heroes that can fight early, they just start running around and ganking any opportunity they get. Guys, if you want to play these heroes correctly, I recommend at least for the first 7 to 8 minutes, as a good rule of thumb, you farm your lane and get up your items. And then after that, the most important thing to do for these fighting type of carries is identify exactly who you can pressure out. One of the best signs of a high MMR player is, does he know the matchups around the map? Let's say you're playing Riki, and the enemy safe laner is a Jug. And this is something I talked about in a Riki analysis I did on the gameleap website, where I looked at one of my Riki matches against a Juggernaut, and the thing I had to take out of it was, it was a great TP, right? I farmed my lane for the majority of the laning stage. I had a hard lane, I had a solo lane with a Legion jungle, not kidding. But then, when I have my level advantage and I understand that Riki is a fighting hero, I see the Jug overextending in the bottom lane, I know it's a good matchup, and I find the perfect opportunity to pounce. And that is what it takes to actually fight properly. It is not necessarily just completely disregarding farming. In fact, I was the most farmed hero at the end of the game as Riki, and that's why I was so desperate to make this video as soon as possible when I started realizing that this mistake was so potent within these players, and it even goes farther in the farming heroes we'll get into. But guys, remember, just because you're a fighting hero does not mean you're running from tower to tower to tower. That's not how it works. That's not how it should work. You want to identify proper matchups. Who can I pressure, and then punish either bad dives or set up with the people you need to kill your opponent. That is the best way to gain MMR as a carry player that is looking to fight. And as a side note, I think it's good as a carry player to really identify the type of playstyle you want to learn for the next few weeks. So let's say you want to learn this fighting playstyle, then you should pick heroes like Riki, Bloodseeker, Weaver, Ember Spirit, Slark, because what do they all have in common? They have these early game spikes where if they have a good laning stage and pretty good matchups, they can absolutely run the enemy team over. Let's use Ember Spirit for example. We saw Miracle playing it in the recent minor, and his team would often pick it with heroes like Wind Ranger. And the reason for this is that they had this early game high tempo synergy that you can look for in drafts, right? What do Wind Ranger and Ember Spirit both do exceedingly well? Dive, towers. They both have multiple ways to get in and get out, right? Shackle Shot and Wind Run from the Wind Ranger, and then obviously Remnants and Sleight of Fist from the Ember Spirit. And they could constantly dive, create pressure, force TPs, and this is some great synergy you can try out with your friends where you're like, hey, let's pick these two heroes that have very similar timings and snowball with it. But on the contrary, you can still, as long as you have a game plan, tell your mid laner, hey, I'm picking Ricky, I plan on 5ing a bit, or hey, I'm picking Weaver, I plan on making a lot of rotations and farming a little bit less. You can, in that case, tell them to pick a farming hero. And now let's get on to the farming style of Dota. This is personally what I recommend to all carry players if you're learning the role and you want to be gaining MMR as fast as possible. This is the easiest way to learn Dota. In fact, I had one of my students quite a while back now, a few months ago, go from 1.5k MMR to around 3.2 at this point, from primarily playing farming carries. And then eventually, because he started understanding the game of Dota as a whole and really knocked out the farming style of Dota and how you need to slow down games to win, he was able to transition into the fighting style of carry afterwards pretty cleanly, right? People are afraid that if they do what I say and it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna spam PL and focus on only my item timings, then that's all I'm going to know how to do. Not true. You will simply just know how to slow down the pace of the game, dodge the enemy team, and focus on timings, which can be just as useful on a hero like Ricky, who loves rushing his Diffusal Blade, or a hero like Bloodseeker that wants to get to his Maelstrom and BKB. But now really focusing on the farming playstyle of Dota, the reason why I think this is better is because it is consistent. Consistency is key when improving, and when you're playing a hero like PL, Naga, Animage, Wraith King, and Drow, it is very easy not only to jungle like these heroes do quite effectively, besides I guess AM, he can be a bit slow previous to his Battle Fury, they're all very good at playing around item timings. And as I said, the fighting heroes can do that as well, these heroes are just a little bit better at it. For instance, Aeon loves his Manta timing, Naga loves her Manta timing, PL likes his Manta timing, or their Heart timings, and this is why these heroes are quite a bit easier. Your main goal in the laning stage is to typically survive, not necessarily to win, while the heroes that I mentioned in the fighting style of Dota usually are picked as a sort of counter pick in lane to the enemy heroes, while the farming heroes are a lot more about sustaining. Now they can win lane, right? A PL Lich lane can do great. A Drow Ogre Magi lane can apply a lot of pressure. The AM Viper lane I talked about in my laning video can apply pressure, and that's why, Dota is never set in stone. But the main thing you need to consider is, what are you doing as the farming hero, right? And the reason why this came to mind for me is, I was recently looking at one of my friend's, Turtle's, replays where he's playing PL. And now we did a whole analysis of his game, but really the main takeout that we got from it was the fact that on PL, because he felt that the enemy team was applying so much pressure to his team because they had a DK, they had some other pushing heroes, he felt the need to push towers and sort of create some space on the map as a result, but that absolutely denied his ability to hit timings. So guys, if you're playing a fighting hero and you're pushing towers, what are you doing? It's just not a thing. And that's why I love these heroes so much. The formula is simple, right? The formula is simple. Shove a wave if there's a safe wave to farm. If not, or if you feel like jungle items are more of a priority at this time, right? Let's say it's a 7-minute mark, just go hit the jungle creeps, and you are going to pop off in terms of MMR. If every single game you can be on top of the net worth charts at the 10 minutes by 1 to 2k net worth, you know you are doing something correct. And yes, it is possible. You might be like, well, Speed, what if I have an abysmal laning stage? What do I do? Well, if you're a hero like PL or Naga, if you understand laning mechanics well enough and really are a good commander and can get your support to pull, or you're really good at creep aggroing and buying regen and sustaining the lane, by the time you hit level 5 on any of these heroes, besides AM, which is why I don't really recommend this hero in solo queue too much unless you know you have a good laning stage, a hero like Drow, Wraith King, Naga, or PL all can retreat into the jungle and chill, while the heroes on top don't do that nearly as well. Bloodseeker and Ember sort of can, but not nearly as well. And that is why, guys, if you're trying to gain MMR, I recommend you pick a playstyle. If you want to have fun and you're looking to experiment, I think the fighting playstyle can be a great blast to do with friends, especially if you can synergize and make calls together. But if you're mostly playing in a solo queue environment and you need to be able to stabilize your gameplay and stabilize your learning process, it is much better if you focus on your item timings. And now I'm briefly just going to mention them one more time for a hero like PL, right? You want to be getting your treads, your Wraith Bands, into your Diffusal, into your Manta, into your Heart. And when you have these items, every single time you get one of them, you can be like, hey guys, I have this item, let's go fight. Same thing for Naga, it's like, hey guys, I have this item, maybe we can get a pick off. For Wraith King, it's like, I have my Radiance, let's group up. And if you can do that and combine item timings with a good play call, you become a potent carry player. Guys, I'm sure a lot of you have heard this, but some might not have. And that is the idea that where the person in the early game making the play calls is often the support, but when it comes into the mid into the late game, all of you carry players need to transition because your supports won't necessarily know exactly how strong you need to be to carry the game. If you're a carry player, you need to be able to gauge every single match of Dota 2 what item timing you need to actually snowball. And you should really think of that. When the game loads in, what do I need to win the game? Do I need my BKB timing? Do I need a heart? Maybe I only need a diffusal to actually run over the game. And when you start identifying those things and spam your type of hero, you will get better. You just have to take responsibility, track what you were doing right and wrong, and really play your hero how they are meant to be played. And that is the main theme of this video. Play your hero how they are meant to be played. I can't stress enough how frustrated I get when I see Wraith Kings fighting over and over and over again when they have a Midas. It's like, dude, you are unbelievably weak. Or same thing for PLs. It's like, they have a diffusal and the enemy team has 3 PL counters and they're going to fight. Yes, you will see pro PLs fight in the early game. You will, but that is in very niche situations and they have an extremely complex understanding of the game. And yes, you can get there too and really try to balance it out, and that's the crazy part about Dota. It's why we all love this game so much. But for the most part, simplify Dota, stick to your playing style, and really try to master what you are trying to get better at, and you will get better. That's really what I want to say for this video. Go out there and crush it, guys. If you enjoyed, please don't like and subscribe. I know this video is a little bit different from what I typically do, but I want to try some things out. Let me know what you thought in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Are you tired of being hard stuck at your rank? Over at gameleap.com, we have a library of hundreds of guides authored by pro players and coaches covering literally every aspect of Dota. Whether you're looking to master a new hero or role, or just polish up your existing skills, GameLeap is the proven place for competitive gamers to hone their craft and unlock their secret potential. Hit the link on screen right now, to take advantage of our special offer for a 25% discount, guys, 25%, and start your journey today.